What would be the best gift for a 10-year-old boy who loves reading and getting lost in the world of books? Thought Rusty's grandmother as she pulled out a big trunk from under her bed. A book, of course, she exclaimed. Rusty would love a good book, especially this one, she said with excitement upon finding what looked like an ancient novel that was covered in dust but felt more magical than anything else in the room. She dusted the book. It almost felt as if the book was glittering in the sunlight coming through the bedroom window. She handed the cupcake she baked last night to Toto, the friendly monkey, and asked him to follow her to Rusty's room. "Happy birthday, Rusty," the voice sang out from behind the screen door. A smile lit up Rusty's face to see Grandma and Toto emerge from behind the door. After the ritual of blowing candles and singing happy birthday got over, Grandma held Rusty in a warm embrace and gave him the book as a present. Rusty looked at the present with wide eyes. The cover had an illustration of something very strange. To Rusty, it looked like a jellyfish. The book smelled very old, like his grandmother's antique armchair. As Grandma left the room, Rusty, with Toto as his audience, opened the first page and read aloud. "Once upon a time." He took a deep breath to start the next sentence, when suddenly the book started shaking. Toto leapt away from the book in fear, and Rusty was frozen, still in shock. Suddenly, a purple creature popped out of the book. It was glowing and looked just like the one printed on the book cover, but different. It started floating around in circles, creating absolute havoc. It dropped all the books from the bookshelf, banged into Rusty's neatly set toys, and created an absolute mess in the room. While Rusty was partially in shock and extremely curious about what was going on, he was also a little angry at all the mess the creature made. Rusty leapt towards the creature and grabbed one of its long tentacles. To Rusty's surprise, the creature's speed doubled and it went straight for the window, while Rusty was still hanging by one of its tentacles. Toto noticed all this and leapt towards them just before they flew out the window. All this happened in a quick second. The creature dashed towards the sky like a bullet. Poof! They vanished into thin air. It was almost like the sky gobbled them up. Rusty opened his eyes and for a second almost thought that it was all a dream. But to his surprise, he saw a huge family of the same creature looking at him. He pulled back and turned to run away, but was met with another surprise. Toto was standing right behind him in a suit. "It's okay, Rusty. These are Jelcurians. They mean no harm," said Toto as he shooed away the Jelcurians. Rusty was so surprised to see Toto speak that he barely could process the name he used for the purple things. Rusty had a lot of questions for Toto, and Toto answered them all one by one. It didn't take much time for Rusty to get used to this weird new reality, being the imaginative kid he was. Rusty noticed a lake, and by the lake was a tree with beautiful fruits hanging on it. "I want that fruit, but it's so high up, how do I get it?" said Rusty. To which Toto, the wise monkey, replied, "Rusty, you know how to get the fruit, but you don't know that you know." For a second, Rusty stood there all confused. He reached out to the fruit, and suddenly his legs became taller and he could grab the fruit easily. Once he got it, he came back down swiftly. Toto stood there like a proud father looking at Rusty. He then noticed a house beyond the lake, and he almost felt as if the house was calling to him. "How do I get to the house? I don't know how to swim, Toto," said Rusty as a tear rolled down his cheek. "Rusty, you know how, but you don't know that you know," said Toto and pushed Rusty into the lake. Rusty could breathe underwater, and yet again to his surprise, he could swim like an athlete. He swam across the lake and towards the house. As soon as he got out of the water, He saw Toto standing right in front of him and fell back in. Toto gave him his hand to help him up, and they walked towards the house together. Rusty could hear a lot of chatter coming from the house. He peeked through a window and saw there was a party going on. He saw a cake on a tiny coffee table. There were many people inside. He even recognized some of them. Most of them. A man wearing a long black coat noticed Rusty from inside and mouthed, "Come on in." Rusty, filled with a rush inside, ran towards the main door and dashed through it. He looked left and he saw Ebenezer Scrooge from the Christmas Carol. Wow, who would have thought that Scrooge likes attending parties? Sherlock tipped his hat and signaled him to enter the grand ballroom. "I have seen this place before," thought Rusty. As if reading his mind, Toto said, "Ah, this is the great ballroom where Belle and the Beast danced. But don't call him that unless you want to be locked in a dungeon. He prefers Prince Adam. Let me go get him." Finally, Rusty noticed the cake. It said, "Happy Birthday, Rusty," and had a pretty pink frosting on it. The Cheshire Cat grinned and asked Rusty to blow the candles and cut the cake. Sherlock stepped up and said, "Rusty, my friend, I am sorry that I am not carrying a birthday gift for you, but here is something which will help you get through all your problems in life." He cleared his throat and went on, "Never forget to stop and look around. Observe. Your surroundings talk to you. Yes, indeed, they speak. You just need to listen close enough to understand their language and turn the skill of observation into a superpower." Seeing all this, the Beast, he likes to be called Prince Adam, mind you, stepped up to Rusty and said, "I too have something for you, Rusty," he continued. "Treat everybody in your life with love and kindness. One kind act might go a long way." Hearing which, Belle chimed in, "And remember not to judge anyone by their superficial qualities. Always look for the kindness inside their heart." One by one, everyone in the party greeted and wished Rusty, and told him something wonderful they learned from their life experiences. All of this made Rusty think of his grandma and that it's time to go home. He bid adieu to all his favorites and turned towards Toto. "How do we go home now, Toto?" Toto clicked his fingers and a portal behind Rusty opened up. "You know how, but you don't know that you know," and pushed Rusty into the portal. Toto jumped right after him, and they both found themselves falling off the sky until they weren't. They gained control of their flight and landed smoothly right outside their home in the hills. Rusty rushed inside and hugged Grandma. "So, what did you end up doing on your birthday?" To which Rusty shrugged and said, "Nothing." He smiled at her and ran up to his room. Rusty looked out the window in a distant gaze and stayed there for hours on his birthday. Perhaps this is why 77 years later now, our beloved Rusty still loves windows.